Y'all, peace, 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 everyone. Happy new day, happy new day. Today is April 19, and we are, moving in this portal for this solar eclipse new moon in the sign of Aries. And so if you didn't already catch part 1 and part 2, I highly suggest you do that. But before you go, stay rocking with me here. Hey guys, see y'all in the comments. I see y'all coming in. Please share this video so that others can join the live as well. I'm going to be getting into the air signs and water signs today, and also sharing any additional messages that I may get for the collective. As of right now, one of the main things I'm just getting is really just being in your power. Hello, Petra Divine. I love you. Hello, Queen Casey Starseed. Hello, greetings. Yeah, so pretty much being in your power. For some of you, if you haven't ever done so, also, and getting rest. I feel like a lot of us may have been feeling like lethargic during this energy, during these portals. And it's just really allowing for the healing and the upgrades to happen, because there's so many changes occurring on a cosmic macro and micro level. And so just allowing yourself to get the healing that your body needs, so your body can catch up with your spirit and whatnot. So if you're feeling like you need to take a nap or get some rest, do allow yourself to do that as well. For some of you, I hear like if y'all asking like, well, what should I utilize for this, like even this week, not just specifically for today? And if you work with like coffee or tobacco, those are both, herbs and that are natural from the earth, that herbs and beans, right? Plants that are natural, to the earth, that is associated and connected with the energy of Mars. And so Mars can be very much connected with purification and removing like anger and frustration. And Mars is currently in the sign of Cancer. So it is important to see what the water signs got to say. Cancers can be really emotional, and sometimes, they're either they let you in their shell and they show you what home looks like, or they hate you completely. Like there's like no real in between. And, I'm just going to put it out there, but like Cancers are known to be number 1 on the FBI list of like serial killers and stuff, right? And so are like Pisces, and so water signs in general just being super emotional. And with Mars being in the sign of Cancer, just being able to have the emotional intelligence is going to allow for you to go further within the next few weeks, right? This energy is going to be very potent, and it's going to trigger certain emotions to come up to the forefront. So you want to really know how to not be, crabby and snappy with others, but just really like, all right, identify like what is parasitic in your home, in your temple, in your mind, your body, your spirit. What is making you being triggered, right? And taking accountability for that, as opposed to just projecting that onto others. Hello, 0616, is it? Okay. Happy new day. Happy new day. So, and also because this energy can trigger a lot of frustration and anger in others, just being mindful of your own, as stated. I'm not going to kind of keep going back into that. I've been saying that, for the longest. And I feel like for the most part, a lot of you that tap into this channel, into this platform, really like to do the work and mind, your connection with your emotions. But it's also a very heightened energy for your intuition and whatnot, because Cancers are also connected to the moon. And so this is like the Mars and the moon having a conversation in a sense, and like your passion, right? And essentially the solar plexus and the ajna working together, right? And that's great. That's a great energy to work with together. And definitely staying grounded during this time. I'm going to just take a sip of tea. Hello, hello, hello. Here, excited for this Aries new moon just after the previous Aries new moon. Also, if you didn't catch part 1 and part 2, I will be uploading those on YouTube. I know some people had been messaging me stating that you were having problems being able to access those videos. And so I will be uploading those videos so that you not only can see it, but you can be able to share that information with others as well. And what I do want to say that was coming up also was, if you haven't already checked out what you were going through in 2004 around this time of the year, make sure that you're checking to see if there's anything that has been cycling around, that's been nitpicking at you, that's been trying to get your attention in your emotions, or even projects for you to reevaluate or even reconnect with, right? Because Mercury is going to be going into retrograde, peace divine, on the 21st, right? Which, not tomorrow. Yeah, today's the 19th. On the 21st, excuse me, there's a lot of 2112 energies going on with this portal here. And so essentially this is, connecting with the Trinity, the Mother, the Father, and the Holy Spirit within, right? So the masculine, the feminine, and the androgynous being that we are one with source. This is the magi. This is the oracle energy, right? And so Mercury does symbolize the child as well, right? And we have Venus and Gemini. And so Gemini is essentially ruled by Mercury. So there is a lot, Venus is the divine feminine and love essence. And she's talking to the twins, talking to, the veggies and, the higher, the spiritual self and the physical self, the feminine and the masculine, the polarities within, and bringing that nurturance for balance for us, right? And, Mercury being in the sign of Taurus, again, the divine feminine energy, Mars in the divine feminine energies with Cancer, right? And so there is a major healing that's happening. And it is highly recommended that if you have not dealt, whether you are a man or a woman, and this, I don't think I said this in part 1 or part 2, but if you are a man or a woman and you have mother wounds, now is the time more than ever that you want to do the healing work when it comes down to your mother wounds. And you'd be surprised how much comes up. This is also a time for the woman to take responsibility of how the masculine have been treating us, right? A lot of the times, because we're so empathic and we're so nurturing, we enable behaviors that we as women can tolerate, but other men cannot tolerate, and other women should not have to tolerate, right? And so taking the accountability and the responsibility for that and saying, you know what, I'm no longer going to enable or tolerate breadcrumb behaviors, right? Also, this is for the men to step up to the plate and do the healing work within the divine feminine within themselves and honor the woman around them. We as man and woman need to honor each other and work together. We are one and the same together with the divine, right? We are the man gives us the seed and we fertilize it and we deliver it onto the earth because we can handle so much. A woman, it is known that women live longer than men because we are able to deal with more pain and tolerance than a man can physically handle due to the hormones and testosterone and stuff like that. However, they have their men are known to be a little bit more stronger physically, right? Not to say that war concept is not a feminine concept, but just to say that strength in itself, we all have different strengths. But physically, men are they're like ants, right? Ants can carry 5 times more than their 5 or 10 more pounds than 500 pounds than their own weight, right? And us women, yes, we can train our body to do that, but it's going to take us to channel a lot more testosterone in our body. It's going to take for us to really channel more of our masculine energies. And a lot of the times we have been doing that, and it's okay to be in the balance. Like I said, it's not about war being a masculine concept or a feminine concept, but we as women need to be in our power to protect the masculine, and the masculine needs to protect the feminine as well. This is why Mars is in the sign of Cancer, and all of this is happening right now. So we need the brothers to step up to the plate. We need the masculines to step up to the plate and do what is divinely right and guided at this time, because that's requiring you to do your healing work, your rites of passage, connect with your other brothers, know that it is okay to show emotions, and that the old way of doing things has not worked for hundreds of years, because it is not the actual natural way of our being, right? As humans, right? As divine beings, we have energy signatures in us that works in a certain way for us to elevate this earth's frequency, right? And so, just to kind of bring back balance, pretty much I guess that was a collective channeled message that I wasn't even going to share, but, that's something that's coming up, for the brothers is, you may not feel like you have mother wounds, but how do you treat the females around you? Do you treat the females around you with perversion? Do you treat them with, as like a piece of meat? Do you treat them in a way where you feel a sense of entitlement to dominate over them, right? Do you feel a sense of entitlement where, you feel like a woman should just naturally, kiss on your feet, right? Or are you a little bit too passive and too much in your feminine, or are you afraid to open up, right? Do you feel like you can't talk to other women? Do you feel like you don't trust women, right? And this is also, the trust thing is something that's for both the feminine and masculine energies at this time, is being able with the ajna and the solar plexus, right? To build that connection in perfect love and perfect trust, so that your intuition and the divine source is purely directing you, and you're trusting in your highest consciousness to move you forward during this time. Hello, greetings. All right, I need to take a sip. I thank you all for being here, those of you that are still here. This energy is a very potent energy. It's very karmatic and fated by nature. And this is something that, as the moon was already in Aries, has been in Aries, so it's currently in Aries right now. And the entry of the solar eclipse is at 21:12 p.m. So essentially 9:12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and it will be at its peak at 12:12 a.m. at 4:20, right? April 20th, I'm sorry, 12:12 a.m. So midnight at 12:12 at midnight at April 20th, it will be at its peak at Eastern Standard Time. So you can convert that to your time zone for those of you that are watching. And then pretty much anything else. Yeah, and then the 21. So the children, I also mentioned, I started mentioning about how this energy was going to affect the children, and I didn't quite necessarily get into that, at least from what I remember. And it's because there are going to be major changes that's gonna come to the forefront, but it is coming with, minding not only of protecting the mother and protecting the father, but essentially to protect the children and the future generations, because of all the attacks and stuff that has been happening. And so, one thing that my best friend does, and I was like, you know what? Yeah, why don't I? It costs nothing. When there is like an Amber Alert or something in your phone, share that. Post it. You know, it's needed for more people to be aware of what's going on, right? Unfortunately, there are parents who don't have the emotional intelligence. They have a lot of revenge and anger and resentment in them, and they don't want to co-parent, and so they kidnap their own children, right? So that way the other parent doesn't get to see them because they're being spiteful, whatever the case may be. It may not even always be due to abuse, right? In certain circumstances, this is because of abuse. And so just being able to each one teach one to the children is going to be a highly beneficial thing that anyone can do to help clear their karmas at this time. And this is essentially like teaching the children to things that we didn't know better, right? Teaching the children right from, like, I don't want to say right from wrong because they're correcting me in that, not necessarily right from wrong, but at least giving them the tools and the modalities. And also for some of you parents is listening to your children. One thing I'm gonna share is, like, if your children have like any Taurus energy, one thing I would tell you is Taurus people in general, you're gonna have some. Mercury likes to move fast, right? But Mercury being in Taurus is also gonna take its time because earth signs like to take their time. And Taurus specifically, Spirit has me channeling for every day, y'all, like, of this public message, right? Taurus energy likes to take their time in learning and doing the process. They like to take their time to digest things. This is also why it's funny, Taurus ruling the throat, right? The throat chakra. If you are a Taurus or you have a child that is a Taurus or has strong Taurus placements, more than likely you were probably concerned when they were babies, thinking that they were going to have learning difficulties or something like that, because it probably took them longer to walk, longer to talk, and whatnot. But then once they started doing, they was moving and acting and being a little bit stubborn and wanting to do things their way. And you're probably like, oh my gosh, like, Taurus can do that. And so this energy, not only because of the fiery Mars energy and it being in the watery Cancer, it's essentially like boiling the water, right? And if it gets too hot-headed, it could essentially evaporate that water, right? And so being mindful that you don't become dehydrated. Drink more water. Being mindful to cool your temperament when it needs to cool down. Taurus can be bullies. At times, they can be stubborn. So minding your stubbornness, minding your bullyingness. Are you bullying others? This is also being watchful of children, because in schools, children get bullied a lot, and a lot of the times they don't say anything. This is also not only is Cancer an energy that has, higher numbers of serial killing, but being mindful of the masculine and suicide rates at this time. And I know that the information that I'm sharing can trigger a lot of people, but it needs to be known. Okay, men have a higher rates of suicide than women do, because men do not talk about their feelings. They do not know how to deal with their emotional intelligence like women do, because they have a higher level of testosterone, and they were trained in this day and age. They were trained to not talk too much, or when they opened up, they didn't feel heard. They didn't feel like the women were listening to what they had to say. Perhaps they were being bullied or not knowing how to deal with their traumas. So being mindful of the people around you, connect with your loved ones and build that meaningful connections. Ask your loved ones, how are they doing? If you know that someone deals with anxiety and depression, this is a time to Not overwhelm them and overbear them with your concerns and worries. We don't want to have to worry, but you do want to show that love and connection with them and say, hey, how are you doing today? Is life treating you well? You know what I'm saying? Allow for yourself to nurture your relationships at this time. Check on your loved ones. Okay? Allow, if your children are being hurt, ask them questions. Is anyone bullying you at school? Are you comfortable? How is there anything going on that bothers you at school? Pay attention to your children. Okay? So it is important to know these things. These are the shadow sides of this energy, but it's important to know the shadow sides just as much as it's important as, hey, we getting money. Like, yeah, cool. But does that give you happiness? Is that supporting your foundation in a way that, like, there's people that they can get money and not actually know how, they may not have financial literacy skills. And so what good is that? Right? And so there's a lot to connect with and reevaluate when it comes down to this energy. And like I said, sometimes we get alerts on our phone that's, essentially talking about like kidnappings or, I just said the right word, not, I guess, red alerts or, the alerts on the phone whenever you get that. And if you see that, share that in your stories. The same way you sharing everybody else's business in your stories and memes that's not relevant, that can save a life. There's so much being targeted. There's so much. It's like the devil is working extra. If whether you believe in the devil or not, right? Because that's a whole other like concept and thing or whatever. But the opposing energies is working extra right now at this time because we are in a space of highly elevating our energy to a frequency in which is interconnected in good health, in good wealth, in good fortune, in our divinity, in our strength, in our power. And it scares the shit out of those lower vibrational frequencies. And at this time on this planet, all beings are here. Right? So Amber Alerts. There we go. Thank you. The Amber Alerts. Even I wouldn't even be surprised, it also being mindful if a car is pulled over, on the highway, this is another thing too, this is a pet peeve, y'all. This is a pet peeve of mine because it can literally save a life. I have been in situations where if the ambulance did not come on time, I would not be here right now. Okay? When you are seeing them putting their fucking sirens on if you drive, you are supposed to pull over or stop the vehicle and allow for them to go. Yes, I know there's a lot of fuckery shit when it comes down to the public servicers and they do a lot of fuck shit. But at the same time, you not stopping can cause them to delay themselves to getting to a place in which that delay could have saved somebody else's life. Okay? And I'm a firm believer that when it's your time to go, it's your time to go. And so there is no accidents and stuff like that. But you just want to be mindful at this time, especially during like the retrogrades. Just, ease yourself. Be patient. Patience is a virtue. Taurus are patient. They take their time. This is why their stability is long-term. They deal with long-term stability because they take their time to digest. They take their time to process information and things. They take their time to travel. So take your time while you are moving about your day. If you're already running late, guess what? You're already late for work. You're already late for work. So what good is it gonna do you catching a tantrum, giving everybody an attitude because you frustrated, because you decided that you was gonna put your alarm on snooze and you overslept or you didn't hear it or whatever the case may be, and you're getting to work a little bit late. Now you wanna be rushing, you wanna be speeding. Fuck that shit. You're already late. You get there when you get there. You know what I'm saying? I also mentioned, and I don't know, I guess maybe there's somebody who has to deal with their schedule, because it came out in the last like channeling as well, as like, make sure that you're putting your alarm like earlier or something, or you're leaving a little bit earlier so that you take your time. Also, if you see that there's a car on the side of the highway, move over. If it's you, move over to the next lane, because they might need to be coming out the car, and it's preventing them from doing what they have to do. Or if you are able to help somebody, then help somebody. Obviously use your discernment with that. So those are just things that was coming up for the channel messages. I think the main thing was just being mindful of the masculine energies, the bullies, and, the suicide, and just being attentive and knowing that, if a man is not, if you have men in your life, whether you are a man or not, if you are a man or a woman, and there's men in your life that you feel like they don't really open up, they don't share about their lives and stuff like that, and they are acting a little bit off or different, or they seem lower, check on them. Check on them. Because more than likely, if they already don't open up to you, it's going to be hard for them to check up on you any the fuck way. But if they really need somebody to know that they care about them, now is going to be the time for sure. And again, this is also not only about the woman enabling the brothers, but brothers, stop enabling the other toxic shit with the brothers. This is the time of brotherhoods coming together so that the masculine can do their healing rites, so that we can all be in the proper alignment with the brothers and sisters, protecting each other, having each other's back, honoring each other, respecting the divinity within one another, loving each other. Teach your children that it is not funny to bully another child, because you may not know the levels of sensitivity of that other child. But also teach them to not tolerate themselves to be bullied from others, because we're not going to enable that behavior from others either. And this goes for the adults as well, because adults are just grown as children. Okay. Don't work, retired a long time ago, disabled light worker, starseed. Well, thank you. Hello, Wayne. Hello, Mr. Synchronicity. Greetings, hermit mode, pulling away from my druid deck. Oh my gosh. I would love to see that druid deck, to be honest. I am the apple tree from the druid, the druid astrology. It's really interesting, the connections, I'm the year of the snake, I have the apple tree, and so before other people took it, for a long time I was going by forbidden fruit on here, forbidden fruit 13, and then I ended up losing the name because I deleted my account or whatever, and then bam, everybody had it, so whatever. But yeah, I remember I was doing a lot of work with that time. But yeah, for some of us, being in hermit mode is important, and essentially is for that spiritual evaluation. And thank you for mentioning the hermit mode. That reminds me, if you haven't seen part 2, I did mention part 2. I did the collective reading, and then I did the earth signs. When I did the earth signs, I mentioned also that I highly recommend everybody listen to the sign of Taurus as well. That is going to be important. So I'm going to put it on here because in part 1, it sounded like I was talking about Soulback and fears and so many different things, but the channelings was so it was so much that I'm not quite sure if it fully made sense, but there was a lot of mythos and examples that was given in part one and pertaining to like this energy and this portal in which we're going through, right? In part two, I mentioned like with the Taurus and everyone listening, but essentially because Mars is in the sign of Cancer, not only did I want everybody to listen to Aries, right? Because this is all solar eclipse in the sign of Aries with this new moon in Aries, right? Aries, Taurus, and Cancers are important to listen to at this time for everyone. That is essentially, their readings is essentially almost like another collective reading or collective message, right? For pertaining to like this portal. Again, because Mars is in the sign of Cancer. But of course, obviously, other placements, we have a lot going on in the sky. And if you want to know how this energy is going to impact you specifically, you can look at certain placements in your chart, as mentioned before, or you can DM me, message me, text me at 321-312-1121. I'll put all of that, or email me and I'll put all of that in the description below. But I am going to get started now with the air signs and then water signs. The reason I am starting with air signs, as mentioned before, I have put in my stories a poll, and I allowed for everyone to vote on what elements they wanted me to do first, and based on the percentage is how I did the orders of the element. And truly enough, there was 0 people that voted for water signs. And I was like, wow, that's kind of crazy considering that like Mars is in a water sign right now, right? But nonetheless, we're going to get to it regardless. Thank you. Hello, Chills Music. Thank you. Sending healing vibes your way. Ashe, thank you. Haha, I'm a Cancer. It's been fun. Just got a reading from a Taurus and ended up activating her. I can see that. I'm pretty sure it was an activation both ways. Even, because sometimes we think that happened recently too. I went into a place and I had I wasn't even going to go there for like services or whatever, but I just kind of the moment I got in there, I was like, oh, she was waiting for me. And I felt that. And I ended up getting a service from her. And as I'm sitting there and I'm getting the healing and stuff, I knew everything was telling me this is an activation for her, And sure enough, it was, but that's how spirit works sometimes. And as we are activating others, we're essentially activating parts of ourselves because we are doing the work within our own mission. Let me move this to the other one here for a moment. I'll check your messages one more time, and then I am going to get into the air signs and then water signs. Essentially we have all the elements in us. We have all the signs in us. Oh, the deck has 4 elemental dragons. Oh, I love that. I love that. I love that. All right, peace. Okay, so the air signs are Libra, Aquarius, and Gemini. And as mentioned, Venus is currently in Gemini. And so Gemini, that is going to be important too, as we was talking about that. Excuse me. All right, so Libra, Aquarius. I feel strong Aquarius and Libra vibes. Gemini, Venus and Gemini. Now we're going into the portal, yes, of the solar eclipse. New moon in Aries. How is this energy? And for those of you that don't know, I do the collective, and then I go into the individual air signs, and then I'll do the same for the water signs. And I have to make sure I get into it, so I'm not going to hold us too long on the collective messages. I'm going to get into the signs right now. There we go. There we go. One more. There we go. Thank you. And I'm talking about hermit mode, right? It keeps coming up. Essentially, this is air signs. You might want to allow yourself to call back your energy and be in a space of authority when it comes down to authority and accountability when it comes down to your own energy, to dropping your burdens. And when I say authority, this authority is essentially for your fears, is what I'm seeing, because you're going to be dropping a lot of burdens. We have the King of Wands, the 10 of Wands in reverse, and the Hermit card, right? In the bottom of the deck, we have, I was going to say the Emperor. We have the Hierophant here. Okay. So essentially this energy here, air signs, this is telling us that you're going to be dropping a lot of burdens. You're going to be, for some of you, this is a complete energy shift when it comes down to your masculine energies, and also the way that you think about your career. Perhaps, you were feeling a lot of burden energy before. You're no longer going to feel that. It's almost going to feel like a weight is lifted off of your shoulders. So you might be feeling a little bit tired. They're saying this is definitely a time for you to ground down your ideas and prioritize that. So taking the authority over what needs to get done and putting the leadership and taking the action with that. However, and I'm gonna clarify here the Hermit, but essentially this is, you're doing a lot of spiritual work. I wouldn't even be surprised if you're somebody that does like a lot of sigils or light language or something like that, or somebody who just naturally practices and channels, whether it's something you've been doing for a long time or you just started doing here. I feel like you're going to be getting a lot of information and spiritual information, right? And so this is going to help you lead the masses here. How I did for the collective before, I was like, I was getting a lot of like earth signs needing to like ground down into the earth's grid and like hold down the vibration in a high frequency, the like ley lines of the earth, right? So essentially what I'm seeing is a similar energy for the air signs, but in a way of like you drawing sigils in the air, right? And essentially bringing that out and allowing for it to be in high vibrational data or information that gets channeled into the air through the ethers, right? This could also be a lot of astral work, which is why you're probably feeling tired. You're probably feeling like there's a lot of outer body experiences, or you're gonna feel a lot of activations of outer body experiences. And so don't get scared if this is something new to you and you haven't had this experience before. It's okay. This is part of your natural process. You have been doing this for a long time. What I am hearing though is if you get scared or you feel overwhelmed or you feel intrusive thoughts, yeah, you see there's fucking beings around, get like a black tourmaline for some of you. For most of you, what may resonate with you, if you want to work with crystals, I am getting smoky quartz. This essentially is going to keep you on your high frequency, but it's going to keep clearing out the energetic debris that is not serving you, is what they're saying. Yeah, I feel like on a collective level, there's a lot of messages that's like big messages. I don't want to go too much into that. It's like kind of like politics and stuff like that. But just keeping it as far as like maybe, maybe you're an individual that deals with a lot of politics. And so you're going to be sharing a lot about politics, or you're going to be activating a lot of people in the room with your energy pertaining to politics. Perhaps you're going to be creating sigils that protects other people against like other authority that isn't, let me correct that. Thank you. Yeah. Perhaps you're going to be making sigils that allow for people to reclaim back their power and their energy and be the authority of their own energy, so that they can take accountability and responsibility for their energies, but also so that they can learn to navigate their own energies if that's something that you do. And this essentially can come to you through the dream realm, or even just through like meditation, or but essentially this is going to be like you also training yourself to deal with your own spiritual gifts. And so it is going to require you to kind of take some time in isolation, but you're not going to stay too long in isolation is what I'm hearing, because you're needing to step up to the forefront. This is a time of you having to take action. But if you see, the king he's sitting on his throne and he's in full confidence here. You're going to take action and leadership, but it's through pacing yourself, air signs. So don't just go gone with the wind and go super fast with your bullseye, right? Like, allow for yourself to pace yourself through this. You're going to know how to navigate yourself. Essentially, some of you are going to help lead others, right? This is, let me get a little bit more on the Hermit here. Because even though, like, the King of Wands is the air sign energy, you're feeding this. It's like that fire is feeding you right now. Like, your air is feeding the flame. Yes. And these are things that you kind of feel like is expected of you, and not necessarily that it's because it's other people's entitlements to you, but what is necessary at this time from your soul, right? Your soul expects this from you because you already know how to do this. Essentially, this is also your ships and rewards coming in for you doing the work. Yes, rewards. King of, I don't know if y'all can see that, but the 10 of Cups in the bottom of, like, right here, and then in the bottom of the deck is the Wheel of Fortune, and the Wheel of Fortune does keep coming up. So I feel like by you taking the time to get to know how to work your energy and essentially putting yourself in the forefront to help others. Now, I know that was a little bit very etherical, and for some of you it's like, yo, let's get grounded to earth. How is this really going to influence me? I feel like this is, for some of you, what this is that you're getting a lot of innovative ideas as well that you are going to either receive through dream state or through meditation. And they don't want you to be afraid of putting this out there to the forefront, whether it's inventing something new or just doing something in a new innovative way that is going to cause a disturbance to the masses. But putting it out there is actually going to be something that spirit is expecting from you to do, because it's within your path and your journey to either share this information that may trigger other people, or to put out this like project or whatever it may be, something that is essentially actually going to lead to in the future. And this is pacing yourself, but if you do it, there's going to be people working under you. So essentially it's like you're paving a new career path for other people that you don't even realize how important this is for other people right now. And so the innovative ideas that you're receiving is for you to put out there, and it's going to put you in a leadership position. And so take whichever story resonates for you. I know I probably should have said that one first because that's a little bit more mundane. And so for those of you in the mundane world, y'all kind of want to hear that, but I'm giving it to you as I'm getting it as well. And so this is, you and this could be where it's maybe shifting careers, essentially, because maybe you were like a manager or a supervisor or something as is in a regular job, and you're just feeling a calling to another space, or maybe even coming out with your own company with that essentially is kind of surrounded by the same idea, but maybe works with energy exchange differently, or has different benefits or different, just different essentials that's important for the people. And that is what's going to actually lead you to higher success rate. And this is something that has been called onto you. And so you're going to know if this is your calling, because it's been nagging at you already. And it's something that like you're getting the idea, and they're saying, don't worry if other people have done it. There's so many pieces of different breads, like so many brands of bread, and so many people on social media. Like a lot of people are essentially doing a lot of the same shit. Don't worry about that, because you are going to make it different, and it is different. For some of you, this is also just getting deeper with your breath work techniques and maybe perhaps like teaching others how to move their energy through breath work. So I am going to go into the individual air signs right now so that way I could also make time to get into the earth signs. So bear with me, y'all. All right, so I keep hearing Libra, so I'm going to go with Libra first. How is this energy affecting Libra specifically? How are the Libras going to be dealing with this energy specifically? All right, so Libra, you're coming. This is good. So on the bottom of the deck, we have the Six of Wands here, which essentially is, it is Leo energy, but it's, it's bringing out the successes and being in your pride. And I feel like it's not necessarily you being in your ego space. Is definitely, I feel like you're going to be doing a lot of, like stepping out of your ego and allowing for yourself to really like reconnect with the bright sides of yourself. The reason I say that is because we do have here the Hangman in reverse, so essentially is upright. This is you gaining the spiritual revelation that you needed to come out, and then with the Three of Cups here, this is a reunion. I'm kind of feeling like this is spiritual intervention that had to come in and move you out of your situation in order for you to become a little bit more successful here. Confirmations. Where is my thing at? Oh, that's my alarm clock, y'all. Bear with me. That is too funny. I forgot that my Bluetooth was connected, y'all. All right, I'm gonna take this out, and then the way that I'm gonna do it. Oh, did I do that? I really did that, huh? All right, so I guess we're gonna do it together because I usually have two other oracle decks. So I do have two here. I guess I'll work with those. To go into the energies also. Essentially what I feel like is there's a lot of happening here with the Leos, with the Libras. There's a lot. Maybe you have a lot of like Leo in your chart as well. You could be dealing with a Leo. Essentially, I feel like this is you tapping into your confidence, you gaining the revelation as to why freedom was necessary is kind of what I'm feeling here. I feel like essentially you're going to be getting into like some sort of recovery mode and moving forward with clarity is what I'm getting here. Let's see what other additional messages, how this message is dealing with Libras. So Libras, this is also you reconnecting. Excuse me. This could also be maybe a Libra reconnecting with a past lover. And, where back in the days you didn't realize how important a certain individual was in your life. And this is a successful reevaluation. This could also be maybe in business, like I said, like maybe you had an idea years ago and you didn't act on the idea, right? And I kept mentioning like with 2004, right? So perhaps you had an idea, it came down to you wrote it down, but you did nothing with it, and you find yourself reconnecting with that idea and it becomes successful. That is what I'm seeing here. I'm seeing here, regardless of where you're at in your journey, in your life, whether it's reconnecting with a family member in which you didn't have a relationship with, and bring some reconciliation. If this is you stepping into your truth and you moving away from a family member and bringing success to bring reconciliation into, because that's also a thing also. Right. However it's pertaining to you, whether it's career, individually, I kind of feel like this is also you reconnecting with parts of yourself spiritually that you haven't before. Essentially, this is bringing you to a higher level, Libras. Patience, experiences. celebrations. And so Mercury, Venus and Gemini, I'm gonna just pull that down. Venus and Gemini is essentially helping you with this, and Venus is also rules the sign of Libra, right? And so there's gonna be a lot of celebration going on here. That makes sense. Also, again, this was in the bottom of the deck, right? The Six of Wands, celebration here. So Libras, there's going to be a lot of celebration. There's going to be a lot of healing that comes into play. Maybe you're getting a promotion where maybe you're moving into a new place and you didn't know, like you were worried about being able to get an apartment, or you get a new job when you was worried that you wasn't going to get any, and the job is of a higher than your expectations is kind of what I'm hearing. Right? Because you were patient. Your patience is going to pay off. You may be in a present state of either you're going to receive this good news now, or and you had already previously been in incubation mode, or you're going to find yourself where you were in a position where maybe you got fired, or you lost a job, or you had to disconnect from somebody, and this separation essentially is what was necessary for your soul's growth. And so wherever it's at in your journey, whether you are in incubation now, you was in incubation before, or you were in the separation and separation before, incubating now, or in separation now, getting into the incubation, the deliverance of this is success. So this is happening for a reconciliation and reconstruction of your life in a good way, in a successful way, in which is going to bring a lot of celebration. So be patient with the experience, because what you are experiencing was hard. It was a burden. It was tough. You couldn't see things clearly. You wanted to project a certain reality out for you and other people around you that was keeping you in a heavy, low vibrational space, even though you may have had good intentions, right? Sometimes it's not about how good your intentions are if the actions you are doing behind it is still hurting you and the other person, right? And that's something I had to learn the hard way and learn from other people. Oh no, well, if my intentions are good, no. Sometimes you may have good intentions, but you may cross somebody else's boundary. And if you're constantly crossing somebody else's boundary and it becomes a hurtful experience, then at some point, it doesn't matter how good your intentions are. Having to release yourself and disconnect from that experience may be what is most beneficial for everyone involved, so that everyone can elevate to their successes and highest and greatest good, in order for things to continue to flow in a healthy manner. And there doesn't have to be anger, resentment, hatred. There doesn't have to be stagnation or malignant energies, right? Essentially, that's what I feel like you are getting out of, but it's going to take for you to go into the womb first, which is that's the hermit mode, right? That's the patience, right? Going into the womb, going back to the core, getting in your isolation, getting to know yourself and say, you know what, maybe I may have felt like my intentions was good, but I didn't know how to love. You can love someone and not know how to love them, right? So, that's the thing. The same way you may have good intentions with a career and they may not see the value that you have in your position in that job, right? And so essentially it's because you are meant to do something else. That was just a catalyst for you to get into this recognition and this knowing and this calling, to be able to show yourself what you are capable of, where your intentions are, and how can you do things differently, or what it is that you want to do. And essentially through the separation, because I do feel like this is a little bit of a separation that was a spiritual intervention. It was change that needed to happen for you to really go deep with yourself. And sometimes with I was gonna say the Fool in reverse, but with I don't know why I'm itching so much, my gosh. Pisces energy. Hangman in reverse, this can be resistance, right? Change that happened through resistance, but that brought you in a space of enlightenment. And in other cases, this is when you willingly choose to put yourself in a pause position. I'm going to pause. I'm going to time out. And I need to G-check myself. What the fuck is going on here? And through that separation, it allows for healing to happen. So this is through how I feel it mostly. Instead of it being through resistance, I feel like a lot of the Libras did this energy willingly. You willingly chose to take a pause and step back from the equation, put yourself in the womb to allow yourself to receive greater revelations on this, to essentially allow for yourself to receive the benefits from it and move forward and reap your successes, right? Okay. Oh, and then let's see what dragon energy, what garden dragon. Yeah, there we go. So we have garlic dragons with boundaries. Remember, I mentioned the boundaries here. So this could be perhaps that you have to learn to respect other people's boundaries and essentially, teaching yourself to respect your own boundaries as well, or maybe put up boundaries for yourself. Also with garlic, I mentioned this before, so garlic can be very healing and protecting. I would say maybe burn some garlic peels if you need to cleanse your area, but some also, it's important to be mindful of how much garlic you eat, because this can lead to leaky gut, and it can break the boundaries of your stomach's lining to be able to support what it is that you are digesting. And so you may be laying off of garlic for a little bit, so that way you can heal your gut and essentially build a stronger connection with your intuition, to listen better, to digest information better, so that you are connected with a healthy mind, right? Perfect set, no vampires, knowing your boundaries, and also allowing for yourself to not, I'm gonna be very honest, there be people, I literally had to have a separation with another Libra, and I'm as much as there was love there was a lot of boundaries being crossed here, and it was vampiric, it was acidic, it was parasitic, right? And so when we see these things, it's important for us to not only that person's crossing my boundaries, but take the accountability and say, am I enabling someone to cross my boundaries to the point where they think it's okay? And needing to take the responsibility to put boundaries up for ourselves. Or also just saying you know what, maybe I may love this person and I may feel like I have a respect for this person, but no, I don't respect this individual's boundaries, and being honest with that, right? So essentially, I feel like it's a revelation of who you surrounding yourself with, what energies you're supporting, and what boundaries you've been crossing, whether you agree with them or not, and what boundaries you will be putting in with yourself. And this is going to reconstruct your life in a way that is going to bring you more successes, because you would have gained the wisdom of how to move forward, right? If this is in a career sense, maybe your boss is crossing your boundaries, and you signed up for one position, but they got you doing all this other work that they're not paying you for, and you essentially speak up, and you see that they're not even trying to give you the promotion or whatever, and you have to fall back and say, well, you know what, you don't want to give me the promotion, you don't want to give me the pay, that's fine, but you're gonna have to respect my personal boundaries and give me the work that I signed up for that is in alignment with my contract. And if you can't do that, then I can't do the work for you, because if you want me to do something outside of that contract, you're going to have to pay me more, because I respect myself enough to put the boundaries that you have to respect too, even though you're my boss. And if they can't do that, then essentially creating that separation is going to bring you to a space of spiritual revelations to figure out where it is that you want to go. And you're going to actually either get a promotion, because we've seen a lot of celebration, right? They're going to be like, wait, hold up. Libra ain't playing no more. Libra don't want to people please no more. Libra's saying either pay me what you owe me. Don't act like you forgot, right? Or they're going to be like, bang, bang, I shot you down, bang, bang, you hit the ground, bang, bang. And they're going to be like, damn, we need Libra to come back and do this work. So let's offer them a higher position. right? So for some of you, this is a promotion. Whatever the case may be, again, you know your story more than I do. This is a reevaluation of boundaries, of how you were people pleasing, how you love yourself, because you may love yourself and not even know how to love yourself. And you come into revelation of that. But you're going to have to take time to be one in the womb and incubate in there, baby. And when you come out, you're going to come out with success. All right. So, whoo, that's for y'all Libras. Hello, hello, hello. Will Cher come save me? Listen. Don't save her. I don't want to be saved. Don't save her. Listen. I don't know who Cher is, but I feel like Cher is no longer Captain Save-A-Hole. And she said, you better go to Jesus or go save yourself, because she ain't it. She ain't it. And if Cher's your alter ego is done with you, baby. Your alter ego done with you. They said no more. They say you better go save yourself. You better go with the light within. And if you don't believe in Jesus, because, hey, that's a whole other topic. I'm not a religious person. It is, you believe in whatever you want to believe in. But you better believe in something, baby. And you might as well go believing in yourself so you could go save yourself. Because if you don't believe in yourself, it don't matter who the fuck go try to save you. You gonna fucking be in victim mode forever. You gonna be in victim mode forever. You're gonna be allowing yourself to be a target forever, because you're not allowing yourself to put yourself in a position to believe in yourself. And so therefore, you're always going to be scared. You're going to be timid. You're going to feel hopeless. You're going to feel defeated. Like, you need to believe in yourself in some way, shape, or form. It's okay to have insecurities, because everyone has insecurities somewhere in their life. But in those spaces of your insecurity is when you have to tap into your confidence the most and say, come on, confidence, we got to go G-check this part of ourselves, give it some love, and save this bitch out of here. And if that bitch is your alter ego, then you go deal with your alter ego in this way. Mira, ven acá, we have a conversation. Let me love on you for a moment, because you're being a little too punk shit right now. And like, it's time to like, G up, right? And that's okay. Maybe not talk to yourself like that in that way. You can talk to yourself in like a nurturing way. Sometimes I speak this way, but like, I'm the biggest like crybaby, and like, I'm really softy. Like, I'm super, super soft. So I talk like this, but like, as a form of like, this is me and my confidence. This is me not being shy to deliver the messages onto the people, because really, truth is, guys, I get shy every fucking time I have to come on live. I have a real thing where I know that I'm supposed to be sharing messages with y'all and the collective, and I don't always allow myself to do it, because I get in my own way sometimes because of the insecurities of, you know, people looking at me. I don't like to be looked at. I don't want you looking at me, right? Like, or how my voice may sound, and like sometimes it's squeaky to people, or sometimes they be like, oh, you sound like Rosie Perez, and this, that, and the third, and like, you know, certain things that are annoying. And at the same time, if I allow my insecurities to stay in a bigger place, I won't ever be able to save myself if I don't believe in myself to actually say, you know what, let me at least tap into the courage. I know that I'm courageous. I know that I can feel the fear and do it anyways and step up to the plate. And so I talk with my confidence and I breathe through it, and I say, okay, let's go meet this shy girl in here. Let's go meet her where she's at, and let's keep her companion. Let's be her companion. Let's keep her company. Let's love on her and nurture her. And sometimes when that happens, I make a lot of jokes as a defense mechanism, right? To bring security where there's insecurity. And guess what? Through that, I'm able to bring y'all the messages, right? So, you know, I don't know who Cher is, and I don't know what you need saving from, but whatever it is that you need saving from, don't depend on Cher. If Cher comes, awesome, great. You know she's part of your support system or whatever the case may be. But you have to allow yourself to be your own support system first. And this also goes back to the beginning of the live when I was like, you know, sometimes you might be waiting for Cher and you want to open up to Cher, and Cher don't even know how to go to you and help you and save you, because do you even talk to Cher about what you feel like you need saving from? Do you open up? Can I come on? That might have to be for another live, but you can message me afterwards. I'll give you that. I'll give you that. I normally don't even give people that, but I'll give you that only because I want to continue with the flow here, because I got 2 more air signs I have to do, and then I have to do water signs, and I promised everybody that I will get these done today. So 7 in the room. Boom. Hold on. You am going to unfollow you to follow you again. And what? En serio, ¿por qué? ¿Qué pasó? Why you gonna? First of all, if you unfollow me and then you follow me back, that don't got nothing to do with me. That has everything to do with you. Why? What did I do so deep that you felt the need to unfollow me, only to go and change your mind? It's okay to change your mind. And it really doesn't matter what essentially I did, because I'm just being me. But essentially, it's about how do you identify with your triggers, because it triggered you enough to unfollow me, only to follow me again. That's something that you have to work through and look at that, because that is part of your patterns, right? That's a behavior pattern that you have due to something deep-seated with you, and that's how you handle situations. Do you handle situations in a way where you run away from a situation and then you come back whenever you feel like you're ready to come back in a person's life? Or do you handle a situation to say, all right, you know what? I need to breathe. It's okay. This may not be the right time to have a conversation, but we do need to speak about this because this is something that is important, right? Maybe people don't know how to support you or how to respect your boundaries if you don't talk about it, right? Maybe somebody doesn't know what they're doing wrong. And so instead of you just running away and saying, I'm not dealing with that individual, perhaps have a meaningful adult conversation where, you know what, they may not always, they may not always comprehend what it is that you're saying, but it is important for you to say it anyway, right? And allow for it to get to a space where then you make the decision after you you took all different avenues. You explored different ways of healing a situation, of bringing resolution to a situation. Because running away and coming back, what the fuck? You unfollowing me and then following me back, what does that solve? What is your why in following me to begin with? Do I have anything that nurtures you and serves you and works with you that benefits your life? If not, if that's why you unfollowed me, trust your intuition and keep it moving. Keep it going, right? But if you're going to follow, and I know this is not you. I know you're like kind of joking because my page is private right now, right? And so you wouldn't even be able to be in here, especially because I've been looking at my list and I definitely... that's definitely a very real thing that you're bringing up right now, right? But again, it goes back to that's your business. I know me. I deal with me accordingly. It's either you love me or you don't. And if you don't, that's okay too. That's okay too. I'm not going to stop loving on myself. And it's not to say that I don't have flaws, but in order for me to address or apologize for any of my flaws that may have impacted you, we have to first have a discussion, and it has to be put out there in the air for anything to be saved, for anything to be reconciled, right? So just putting that out there. All right. Fuck, you're literally mirroring me right now about going live. Thanks for sharing, Queen. Putting into the comments to break through the energy as I'm in process of changing it. Yes, Ashe, break through. Listen, I want to see who's that. Kaya, I want to see you. Kaya Mac, right? You finna Mac on live, and I'm finna catch you on live, and I'm excited for it. So I'm gonna be on the lookout for you. I'm definitely going to catch you on live. Oh, first thunder of the year. Ah, yes, I love thunder and rain. All right, let's go. Let me take a sip. Yeah, let's get to these air sign messages, y'all. All right, Aquarius, that's what we're going for first. So I'm not going to take that right away because I got to get into it. But Aquarius, how is this energy influencing the Aquariuses right now? Oh, Aquarius. Oh, I feel like, all right, I feel that. All right. Oh, yeah, definitely moving away from some stuff. Essentially a lot of new beginnings for you, Aquarius, right? We have the Ace of Pentacles in the bottom of the deck. We have the Ace of Swords. We have the Five of Cups, and we have the Devil card here. Aquarius, y'all are traditionally ruled by Saturn and then Uranus, right? And so essentially what I'm feeling from this is that y'all had to, y'all went from the Three of Cups, not really going in the way that y'all may have wanted to. Maybe there was certain things to seeing that, there's 2 cups ahead of me. I don't feel like the Five of Cups in this aspect is in a depressive way. What I'm feeling with this is that y'all walked away from situations that weren't serving y'all, and y'all don't feel guilty about it because you know that you don't have to feel guilty about it because there's 2 cups ahead of you that is there for the meaningful connections in your life. You are not holding yourself bondage to that which is not serving you. You can see the truth of the illusions here, okay? Y'all are tapping into your higher frequencies here, Aquarius, and I'm loving it. I'm seeing a lot of metamorphosis. I see y'all really in a space where moving into unknown territory is what I'm hearing because it's new. It's new opportunity, new offers, right? New places. This perhaps maybe some of y'all are moving into a new place, and so you're going to be signing a contract. This could also be just moving into new positions. Whatever it is, this is a lot of freshness, a lot of newness, and it took for y'all to walk away from energies that may have been like trying to hold you down. And so, nonetheless, I also feel like this is you walking away from your own self-sabotage or walking away from your that's weird. I almost feel like there's an awakening of hidden knowledge coming through also. And like breaking through barriers of subconscious programming here. Let me get a little bit of clarity on that with the 5 cups here. Yeah, okay. Yeah, so we have the Page of Cups here. This could have been maybe that, some of you Aquarius, maybe you're dealing with like a divorce situation going on here. Maybe something with a child. It could be a daughter with the Page of Cups here. But nonetheless, this situation is bringing y'all to a space in where there's justice is going to be served in your favor here. Okay, we have the Justice card upright here, and the King of Cups upright with the Ace of Cups and the Temperance. So yeah, there's a lot of balancing of the scales and things coming out in your favor, Aquarius. You may have been dealing with some really high, low vibrational energies. When I mean high, low vibrationals, because that sounds contradicting, right? Like, how is it a high, low vibration? What I mean is that there's you may have been dealing with a lot of low vibrational things back to back to back to back to back, and now you're going to be experiencing a lot of high vibrations back to back. Dang it. Back to back to back to back. Can y'all hear me? Because I just had a phone call come in and I want to make sure that y'all are able to hear me. Nonetheless, let me know before I keep talking, y'all, please. Can y'all still hear me? Okay, cool. So Aquarius, I feel like if you're also dealing with a court situation, this situation is going to unfold in your favor. So just keep doing the good job. Keep doing, be honest with yourself. I feel like there's a lot of, these are things that you're releasing from your past life. I see you elevating to a high frequency here. I feel like there's a lot of balancing in your life and a lot of awakenings. Definitely pay attention to your dreams. Let me get one more card for the Aquarius, please. Oh, okay. And I also feel like, yeah, so this is, yeah, breaking through the karma. You're changing your contracts from the past, from your past life. I was going to actually say like breaking karmas, is what I'm seeing. Essentially, like you're coming into a space of reaping the benefits of higher. Look, I was trying to push this card in and it didn't want to push out. And it says success here, Aquarius. I see ya in a highly successful place. And so I wouldn't worry. You're probably feeling like you're fighting a lot. Maybe you're a warrior, maybe you're in the military or whatever the case may be. This could essentially be like maybe you were fighting a lot with a partner and you had to separate, which led to either a divorce, or this could be just, it doesn't have to be a divorce. This could be just a separation of a union that was, a past life karmic or something like that. And you find yourself like saying like, you know what, like I learned the lessons from this experience already. And, with the Ace of Swords, I know the lessons and I know what I did wrong. I know what I did right, and I can move forward here. And with the Ace of Pentacles is allowing for yourself to go into new spaces in your life and receive new opportunities. Let's see what food or what dragons want to connect with you at this time. What guardian dragon has a message for you at this time? I have it backwards. Aquarius, what is for the Aquarius? Thank you. Okay, Aquarius, you have Peapod Dragon with organized. So you could be organizing a lot of paperwork going on right now. Definitely reevaluating these paperworks, making sure that everything is in alignment for your success. You are organizing your life at this time here. Pea pods, you might want to, contribute this food into your diet during this time. Maybe adding in some like rice and peas or something like that is kind of what I'm hearing. But essentially I'm kind of just looking at the purple and the green, and I feel like this is crown chakra and heart chakra, energy. You said air dragon. Yeah, air dragons right now. Oh, and look in the bottom of the deck, another green with the lucky clover dragon with luck. Good luck is on your side. I would definitely recommend for you, Aquarius, maybe connecting with the color green for sure. There's a lot of, and for the Libras, more whites, connecting with the white, with the garlic. But yeah, for the Aquarius here, I feel like there's just a lot of high vibrational frequency that's opening up your heart and allowing for you to magnetically connect with higher vibrational frequencies that's in alignment with your soul's purpose, which is, it's a little bit scary, but because everything is new. Right? But essentially, all of this is leading to your successes and victory here. And you are in a space where you knew you had to walk away. You knew these energies was low vibration. You knew that you could no longer stay in the patterns that you were staying with. I feel like these Aquarius right now are in their higher state of minds where they're recognizing and identifying their own toxic patterns and making some changes. This is, breaking through addictions, breaking through bad patterns, breaking through, some friendships that maybe weren't serving you before. Right? And I just keep looking at the Abre Camino, and so open roads. There's a lot of open roads for you, and I feel like that's literally clearing the way and opening your roads for you, essentially for your successes here. All right. So now let's get into Geminis. Yes, I love my Geminis. Y'all are interesting ones. All right. Hun, that was so sweet of you to say. I don't know what we got an awesome dragon in the room. Oh, yes, Mr. Synchronicity. Yeah, all of y'all that are here, I want to give the time to say thank you for holding space with me here. Y'all could be anywhere else, but y'all are choosing to be here with me in this portal, and it is a divine honor and gift and blessing, and I'm grateful to share this space with y'all. Y'all are all awesome. And essentially, y'all are reflections of me. So, we're all awesome, right? Because I like to believe that I'm a little bit awesome. You know what I'm saying? So if I'm a little bit and y'all a lot of bit, it balances out. Or if I'm a lot of bit and y'all a little bit, it's still going to balance it out because we all in it together. We're all here. And it's just a awesome as parlay going on over here, right? Yeah, that's what it is. So thank you. All right, let's get into it with Geminis. What messages? Yeah, Geminis is funny. Oh man, yeah. Geminis needing to be in a space of calmness, reflection. Take your time. Y'all have a lot of anxiety. A lot of anxiety, Geminis. Y'all need to woosah. Just literally, like, take a moment, take a pause. Y'all got 10 of Swords in the bottom of the deck. I feel like this is your own thinking. Essentially, it's like the self-sabotage or self-betrayal. Maybe you're reflecting on old stories of people that have betrayed you and like holding on to that and needing to release that energy. I see with the 7 of Swords, like you being your own trickster with this energy, and your spirit wants you to essentially move into new ground, new places, Gemini. So the first card that came out is the 4 of Swords, taking a moment of rest. Taking a moment of rest and allowing for yourselves to really either get into meditation mode, calming down, slowing down your pace. This is also like maybe reevaluating things that you're researching or wanting to do, just pacing yourself, taking a little bit more time. And with the Ace of Pentacles and the 7 of Swords here, I feel like this is a reevaluation of what it is that you want it to bring into your life, truly, because this could also be that maybe, I feel like that's the Venus and Gemini energy as well, with the Ace of Pentacles coming through for y'all, right? And then essentially the Page of Pentacles. You are going to receive news that you want to receive in regards to like finances, but it may not be in the areas that you think. For some of you, I'm going to be very, very, very honest. This is y'all having to really put yourselves in a position to be a little bit more confident when you're requesting either a new position or a promotion. You may not necessarily get it in the first try, but it doesn't mean to try again. This is not everybody's story, okay? For whoever this is, perhaps you may have already tried to request another position and you didn't get it, and you're gonna try again. But I feel like essentially this is Spirit asking you to reevaluate what your values are and what it is that you want in life, because maybe you've been all over the place and needing to center that through. I do feel like there is going to be an opportunity of money being presented to you, and as long as you don't get in your own way about overthinking it, it can be successful and it can be a yes. And so that's what I'm saying. For some of you, there is rejection, and for some of you, it is a yes. So the story has to make sense to you. If you applied to a job the first time and they rejected you, possibly doing it again, you took the time to pause and really put yourself to show how you can stand up to the plate, how you can show up for the business or the company or whatever the case may be, and they started to recognize you. Okay, I see you. But essentially, Spirit doesn't want you to manipulate yourself into a position that is not really in alignment with your values, is kind of what I'm seeing. So, which is why they want you to reevaluate your values. Are you trying to get into this position because it's higher money, or does it align with your values? Essentially, you want to go with what's aligning with your values, because there's going to be a higher payout and more, less stress, less worry. I do feel like there is an opportunity of a job coming in when you least expect it, of something that you really wanted in the past, and all of a sudden, like during this retrograde, they're coming in to offer you an opportunity to work with them, and you're like, you didn't even expect that. Like, you're like, now you're feeling a little bit conflicted and confused, like, do I keep my current job or do I go with this one? This is where the reevaluation of your values is going to come into play, and it's going to be important for you. All right. So there is that decision that's needing to be made, essentially, and it's going to come down to your values and making sure that you are not self-sabotaging by overthinking or by allowing your fears and your anxiety to get the best of you. For some of you, you're just not having fucking any type of sleep. You may be experiencing some insomnia. So I'm gonna recommend some valerian root tea is kind of what's coming up if you're having a hard time sleeping. Maybe not eating like 2 hours before you plan on going to bed, and maybe just your levels of sensitivity right now is super heightened. It's not going to stay like that for a long time, but you are needing to rest. And so maybe putting like your like cell phone and electronics in another room while you get ready and prepare yourself for rest. So drink the valerian root on like an empty stomach, or a stomach that you haven't ate in at least 2 hours. And then just put yourself in the dark and allow yourself to try to get some rest here. For some of you, this could be that you've been getting a lot of nightmares in your sleep. So you're sleeping, but you're not resting. And essentially these nightmares are being triggered from unresolved traumas. And so maybe reconnect. You might get like a mentor or somebody that's a little bit younger than you to help you with your healing process. This could also be that it may be pertaining to your inner child as well. I can't read your comments right now. Let me just stay focused. All right. What other messages do we have here for Geminis here? Rebirth, yes, and sorrow. Yeah, I felt it. In the bottom of the deck, possibilities. These are the opportunities you're gonna have, the offers that you're gonna have that's gonna open like your different potentialities, your different possibilities of which reality, which timeline it is that you want to connect with. But essentially, you're gonna have to do a lot. You're gonna be reevaluating your sorrows, your fears, your anxiety, your nightmares, your depression, like reevaluating all of that to get yourself out of that like victim mentality, out of that like self-sabotage, and through meditation. And this is going to bring you to a space of rebirth. You're literally coming into a new space, which is why the body needs more time to rest so that it can heal through these upgrades and through these shifts and through these changes. And it's not for you to allow the overthoughts to infiltrate into the reality in which you want to connect with. They want you to focus on what are your values and allow for your values to be the main focus, and don't allow scarcity to get in the way of your opportunities, right? Don't allow for your traumas to self-sabotage into the opportunities that you have that's in alignment with your values and moving forward here. Essentially, this feels like a good thing. It is going to be a little bit draining and tiresome a bit. So maybe some of you Gemini feel a little bit exhausted. But essentially, I see a lot of protection, especially with Venus being in the sign of Gemini. There is a sense of protection in this space. There is a sense of good luck and good fortune that's going to come out of this. You're just going to need to take time to rest through that. Let's see what dragon energy we have coming through for you, Geminis. So 2 came out. So we have radish dragon with growth. Yeah, this is for your soul's growth. You gotta take time for yourself. This is where, remember, this energy is pertaining to the collective energies that we did with like the King of Wands, the 10 of Wands in reverse, the Hermit card with the Three of Wands. There's a lot of Wands energies because this is a lot of spiritual intervention that is happening for your soul's growth. You know, you may be in a space where you lose your job and you're like, you know, trying to apply for other jobs, and they don't want you to worry and fear mode and like apply for jobs that align with your values as opposed to just applying to jobs because of the money, right? And also we have Squash Dragon with options here and the orange. So definitely tapping into your sacral energy, your creative energy, allowing for your creativity to be your escape energy. So maybe the days that you're feeling anxious, you're feeling anxiety, you know, either listen to your favorite music and dance it through, or do some art therapy, you know, maybe, you know, some you know, you make some tea and or wine or whatever the case may be, and you start painting to start like clearing that energy out. But essentially looking at your options right now, you have a lot of options and possibilities open to you. And so don't look at it as, you know, doors are just closing on you and there's no options. We always have an option. We always have choices. What choices do you want to connect with? What options, what reality do you want to connect with? And essentially the advice is to connect with the reality that aligns with your values here. Kindness in the bottom of the deck with raspberries. So, you know, maybe also squash and radish, you know, to keep yourself grounded. Those are both plants that grow under the ground. So you have to put yourself under the ground with this resting period. You're literally being called into hermit mode, into rest mode. Put yourself in rest and allow yourself to know that you're going to grow big and you're going to grow in a strong foundation. You just need to get grounded, Geminis. Y'all can be very flighty. Y'all can be very fight or flight. Y'all can be very airy because y'all are an air sign essentially. But it's time for y'all to just kind of focus on your lower chakras. Know that you are abundant. Trust that all your needs are provided for. Trust that you can receive the position and the job that you want that's in alignment with your soul's purpose. Call it in. Receive it. Say it. Claim it. Claim it like it's yours now. I affirm that every job that I apply to offers me a position that is in alignment with my soul's purpose, that's in alignment with my values, where they respect me, they honor me, it brings me good health, good wealth, good fortune, and I'm happy to receive the opportunity to choose through different options. But don't confuse yourself, right? Or be very direct in applying for those types of positions, right? So essentially you will have many options. Look at it as one door closes and many door opens, right? So this could be an ending of a situation. I keep referring to work, so maybe for some of you this is a career type thing, but essentially this could also be in relationships as well. Or, you know, maybe you were feeling like homeless, you know, maybe somebody was like living in their car and, you know, now they're like actually like getting, you know, they got a job and now they're looking for places to like move or something like that. Or maybe you're thinking about getting another car, whatever it may be, you know where it is in your life. But essentially that's what that is, giving yourself the options of the opportunities that's aligning with your purpose and getting the rest to heal. Because this is for your soul's growth. This is for you to really nobody is going anywhere without you. Like you need, yes, like life moves on, right? Life goes on. So it's not for you to stay stuck in depression mode. That's not what they're saying with the 10 of Swords and the 4 of Swords, is like not to get stuck in depression mode, but get the rest when you need the rest and look at your options of how you can move forward in life. Essentially, that there is the balance with that too. Depression means that you are in need of deep rest, and sleeping and rest are two different things. So I really feel like it's about resting your mind and your thoughts more than, and so that your body can, your cells, how do I explain that? like the cells in your body are hyperactive, and they kind of just need to like slow down just a little bit so the healing could occur and you can be more clear-headed as to what your options are in front of you and what it is that is aligned for you. And grounding, so doing grounding techniques, I would say, you can put your thumb, this is a mudra, this is called mushti mudra. All right, and you can hold your thumb that way and just put it on your knees. And if you're finding difficult to ground your energy with that, you can squeeze your thumb to bring it ground. And how you want to do, you want to inhale through your nose and essentially bring the air down to the base of your spinal cord, right? So damn near, your tailbone, right? You're going to bring your breath down there. You're going to hold the Mushti Mudra. And when you are ready to release, because I'm not going to stay here too long, I got things I got to do. I'm going to bring the breath up. But as you bring the breath up, you want to lighten the hold just a little bit if you are squeezing. If you are not squeezing, you're going to keep that hold. You're going to do that for about 5 minutes minimum to 45 minutes. This is a grounding technique. You may feel the energy in your colon. You may feel it, in your feet and your knees. You're going to feel it in different areas. Just pay attention to where you feel the energy. If the energy still feels like super high, right? Like if you're still feeling high vibrational, just keep focusing on the breath and bringing it down. Okay, and just focusing on what you feel in the body. The moment that you are paying attention to what the body is feeling, you are actually practicing a conscious technique of groundingness, because the earth is your flesh. Right? Some people, they do techniques where they visualize, their light frequency becoming like roots and getting grounded and rooted deep into the earth. That's fine. You can do that. But even just essentially knowing that your veins and your cells are your roots, right? And grounding it into the soil of your skin to solidify and ground you in that energy. Okay. Also eating, maybe some radish or squash to kind of ground your energy just a bit. If you're feeling too grounded and you're feeling too depressed, then this could be that you're needing to come out and allow yourself to explore your options. Maybe go for a walk outside as opposed to staying indoors and being in a space where it's lower vibration. I would also recommend changing your furniture around and opening some windows to let some fresh air come in. Do a house cleansing, okay, is what I would recommend. But these are your reading, air signs. So I thank you so much. We are going to get into the water signs now, because time is ticking and talking, and I'm talking and talking. And it has to get done. So I appreciate you. Hi, Sandra. Oh my gosh. I love you. How are you, beautiful? Thank you, thank you, thank you. Let me make sure I'm putting this on. And I'm going to check the comments in a moment. I'm not trying to ignore y'all. I'm just trying to make sure that, because I have my fur baby here she's trying to walk towards me. So yeah, may or may not. Oh, she stopped right there. Yeah, because she knows she's waiting for me so I can give her a walk and feed her and whatnot. And I also have other things I have to do, but I have to get this done. So I thank you all. Let's get into these water signs. Let me take a sip of water. If you have water, cheers. For some of you, maybe fasting for like 3 days This ain't for everybody. If you're feeling guilt, resentment, anger, frustration, if you're feeling pain in your liver, if you've just been feeling called to fast, that may be your message. Essentially, don't be too hard on yourselves. And I'm hearing just 3 days. For some of you, it may just be, and this fasting doesn't necessarily have to be from food either. This could be fasting from people, fasting from social media, fasting from, certain things. For 3 days, just give yourself 3 days is what I'm hearing. That's all you need. So whoever that resonates for. Standing in the rain, let's go. Oh, I love the rain. Rain down on me. Let your love just rain on me. Just rain on me. All right, I'm sorry if I hurt your ears. Oh man, I love the rain. Standing, dancing in the rain barefooted is by far one of my favorite healing modalities for sure. All right, so water signs. We're going to get into it with water signs. Oh, yes, I love it. The rain is very healing. It has so many negative ions that is so healthy for resetting your emotional body, your mental body, your spiritual body. So, just allowing yourself, and like he mentioned, the thunderstorm, like that in itself is just so healing. Oh my God, it is so healing. I highly recommend, when I'm feeling super sad, super depressed, and it's raining, I go outside and I don't care who's around, who sees me. I am under the rain. I'm just resetting and clearing the decks, y'all, so that we can get into the water signs now, okay? But yeah, it is so healing. I highly recommend that if y'all haven't danced in the rain before, that y'all do so now. I was like High Priestess in the bottom of the deck. I thought I saw the King of Cups for a moment. Okay, water signs. This is the collective energy for this solar eclipse new moon in Aries. Oh, there is a card upside down. 1, 2, 3. For the water signs. Hello, hello, hello. Mamba mentality. Okay. One more. Water signs. I'm feeling a lot of rosy, like roses, rose quartz. I feel like a lot of y'all are in between spaces of thinking of romance and money. A lot of romance, a lot of dreamy fantasy, like just really wanting companionship, wanting to be with someone, like calling in relationships and stuff like that is essentially what I'm feeling, which is interesting. A lot of passions in that. For some of you, I feel like, I literally see somebody practicing witchcraft, and like there's a candle on, they have long nails. This is a female, long nails, and I see her it's vintage, Victorian kind of, not the timing, but the style of energy that they have around their place, as opposed to it being a little bit more modern. Very interesting. I don't know why they showed me that. Maybe some of you are going to be tapping into your craft work. Baby, I got you in a moment. All right. Water signs. What is the collective message for the water signs? Let's go for this solar eclipse new moon. Water signs. Yeah, I feel like it's a head of a heart decision. Some balancing coming in. Oh, yes. 7 of Cups. All right. Allowing yourself to not be confused. We have the 6 of Cups. Yeah. Reevaluating your options as well. Really like just coming into a space of like, I feel like water signs, if you're really empathic, now is the time to really like protect your energy as well. Maybe wear like protective oils on your body. Okay, we have the Ace of Swords in the bottom of the deck. Perhaps this is someone who needs a cord cutting or will be doing a cord cutting. Eventually, I see that you are moving into higher vibrational frequencies when it comes down to the relationships around you and the people around you, but you had to reevaluate that with yourself. You maybe felt like you was in competition with others as well. With the 5 of Wands here coming up. So the cards that came up, the first card is the 7 of Cups. There's a lot of options here available, but there's a lot of people here. The way that I see this is like she's literally trying to protect her energy from people that's just wanting to soak up her energy. Okay, people that's just coming up to her. So perhaps you are like, maybe you're somebody who does healing work or you do cord cuttings and stuff like that. They're saying like be mindful of how many clients you're like working with or how many people you like connect with. Maybe even like just clearing your energy. Like if you go out to the store, you come back, make sure you're doing your clearing energy. Making sure that with the 6 of Pentacles here, that these relationships and these connections, these opportunities, these, you know, they don't necessarily have to be people, but just circumstances and situations and stuff in your life. Make sure that it is equally yoked with you. Okay, equal exchange, energy exchanges. So minding your energy exchanges, protecting your energy. We have the 10 of Pentacles. So this could even be from like your own parents. Maybe you're feeling like you needed to protect your energy from your own parents. Maybe you feel like your parents aren't giving you a fair exchange of energy. And you know, you feel combative. Maybe they don't literally like, this is a person who's protecting their energies. This is how I'm seeing it. You know, I feel like there's people trying to combat you, trying to come at you. And essentially, like, you just want to connect with your soul tribe. You just want to connect with your family. You want, and I do see happiness and meaningful opportunities, meaningful connections, coming in. But it's taking for you to look at that with Justice in the bottom of the deck and the World card. Y'all are literally bringing yourself into balance, cutting off ties that no longer resonate with y'all. Yeah, breaking through cycles. Y'all saying, I'm not going through this loop no more. Cutting the cords of illusions. Yeah, I feel like this is cord cutting. I feel like this is also you coming into some truth and revelations here, about the way that you may have been thinking about the energy exchanges maybe with people. Reevaluate, like you going through a mindset shift is causing a ripple effect in your reality with everyone, with your money, with your family, with your friends. So I feel like you're actually gonna come into a space where you're like, they're saying, make like a tree and let the dead leaves go. So if you have certain friendships that are just like rippling away, allow for that to happen, because you're actually going to be drawing in higher vibrational friendships that is equally yoked to what it is that you are in alignment with, is what I'm seeing. This is just kind of, I feel like this is an overall energy for everyone so far, right? So I'm not going to go too deep into that. This looks very, very, very clear. Very straightforward here. For some of you, this is, you know, maybe you're questioning, you were married and you're questioning your marriage, or you're questioning your values, whatever it may be. There's going to be truth that comes to the surface in regards to this here. And for some of you, you know, you're just completing karmatic cycles and you're letting it go. Nonetheless, you're really, really coming into a space of, knowing your worth. I feel like maybe you always knew your worth, but you also question your worth because of the people that was around you didn't know how to appreciate you. They were depleting you. They were depreciating you as opposed to appreciating you. And you're going to be connecting with people that appreciate you. I feel like this is also like you giving yourself the opportunity to receive energy exchanges in form of like money and services and people, whereas maybe before you didn't allow yourself. Yeah, let's get into it. Let's get into it. This feels really good, water signs. It does feel, especially like, because there, the traditional 7 of Cups, it has, like the Rider-Waite. It has, 7 cups with like different options and essentially like their fantasy, like in a sense, right? So for some of y'all water signs, I feel like this is, you needing to really evaluate what are your thoughts and like your fantasy. Are you allowing your emotions to make things bigger than what it is or smaller? Are you allowing for your emotions to feed you certain stories that doesn't necessarily, that it's actually like making you fight against yourself as opposed to like having you aligning with yourself? But essentially all of this is going back to your self-worth and you learning to love yourself on a deeper level is what I'm feeling, water signs. And in this deck, she has a lot of like warriors. I don't know if y'all can see that. I'm sorry if my lighting and like focus is not focusing too well, but essentially like it's a lot of warriors, which this looks like Mars energy. It's very, damn, yeah, I can't see that, but like she's holding her light. And by the way, this is a mudra of protection as well. And so even just going like this, like talk to the hand, it is what it is. This is a protection mudra that keeps energies and entities that isn't serving you for your highest and greatest good, that isn't of high vibration, out of your frequency. Okay. And so repelling it away, moving it away from your aura, right? Essentially just keeping it up and like doing that. Okay. She's doing that. She's protecting herself against, and I'm saying her because of the image on here, but you could be female or male. Okay. But keeping yourself, in a space where you're protecting your energy, and your ancestors want you to know that your ancestors are helping you clean your aura. Essentially, there's a cauldron here with water. Maybe having a glass out for your ancestors with water, or having a bowl out to collect the negative energies in your house. If let's say you don't do ancestor worship or anything like that, but you want to connect deeper and like having your space in a higher vibration, get like a bowl of water and put it in like the living room or whichever room, or all the rooms or whatever, but whichever room feels like the heaviest, and allow for the water, program the water, circulate the water. Water is life, water is healing, water is cleansing. Water is life, water is healing, water is cleansing. Water is life, water is healing, water is cleansing. You say it 9 times, and then you channel the water and you connect with the water and you charge it with the intentions of the water collecting all the energies that is not the malignant energies, the stagnated energies, the lower vibrational thought forms that you may have projected out there. Any and all energies that is yours and not yours, that is not serving you for your highest and greatest good, that may be in the room, that the water absorbs it. And then you're going to throw that water out the next day, You could do it the next day, or you could do it within 7 days or 3 days. It's really up to you. Use your intuition. You could throw this water out. You could flush it down the toilet. Que se vaya con Dios, may it go. Or you can throw it away outside of your home, far, far away. It's easier in the toilet so that you're not traveling in different places and the water don't spill. Just throw it back into the sewers, and may that water be neutralized and return back to source for the highest and greatest good of all, to be transformed into an energy in which honors and serves my soul's highest and greatest good. All right. If y'all need to watch the replay to get all of that again and pause it, then do all of that. I'm not going to keep repeating myself. But essentially what I'm seeing here is your ancestors taking some of the water and they're washing your skin. They're washing your skin down, and they're helping you heal and cleanse your aura and your energy at this time. And they want you to know that you're not crazy. You're not bugging. You see things exactly for what they are. You are on point. Your intuition is correct. So pay attention. Don't fight against your intuition. Don't doubt yourself, regardless of what anybody may be saying right now. The opportunities that you have ahead of you is actually tapped in with your generational wealth. Essentially is what I'm seeing. And they're trying to show you that you are going to be paid in due. Like the energy exchange is going to come in for you in a positive way. Okay, so let's get into it. That was quick. I'm going to get into it with Cancers. So we're going to do Cancer first, and then we're going to do, I guess, Scorpio is what's coming up, and then Pisces. All right, so let's get into it. How is this energy impacting or connecting with Cancers? That's a lot of cards. With the Cancers, what I did see was the Magician on the top. Okay, there we go. Oh, yes. Mercury. We have the 8 of Wands. We have the 3 of Pentacles. And we have the 10 of Wands with the King of Pentacles in the bottom of the deck. Essentially, this is y'all. This is where y'all going to be sitting in the seat of the throne. What y'all are carrying, y'all feel a lot of burden. I feel like this is a strong empath that's learning how to like work and navigate through their energies. You could also be a medium, and this could also be someone that, all right, so many stories. Hold on. With the 8 of Wands, this is mercurial energy, okay? Essentially, this is Mercury and Sagittarius. Maybe you have that placement. Maybe you have Sagittarius energy. It doesn't matter. Either way, this is information coming in fast. You could be a channeler. You can be a medium. You could have strong psychic abilities. You can be an empath. You can have a strong intuition. Essentially, you are getting information about the contracts and the people around you, about your soul's contract, your soul's mission. This is also pertaining to work and what has been keeping you burdensome. You are tired. You're frustrated. You're trying to find different resources and methods, and they're saying you have all the resources. Maybe you're thinking about, career, if you need to make a career shift. Maybe you're like, what do I do for work? What do I do for money? I got this idea. I'm pushing through, but it doesn't always feel supported by others. And I have responsibilities that I have to do. Should I move on my own, or should I continue staying and living where I'm at, because it is helping me a little bit financially. But again, the energy just kind of feels heavy and a little bit of a burden. And so essentially, I feel like you are going to be in a space where you're going to be reaping the benefits of your money once you really get into the space of your own sovereign energy here. And this is going to create longevity. So you have been building a foundation, and not everybody understands what it means to properly build a foundation. This is also essentially, I feel like you, I don't want to say cold and dry, but it's almost as if like some of you Cancers may have felt overwhelmed with your emotions, so to the point to where like you turned it off so that you don't have to deal with it, so that you can make certain moves that you feel like you need to make in order for you to be to move forward. I'm gonna say for some of you, be mindful of that, because you could be hurting a lot of people in that, and at the same time you're like, well, I was hurt. Mind your impulses when it comes down to that, because you want to make sure that essentially that you are moving with integrity. For those of you that are moving with integrity, I see you coming in a higher position and being respected and being supported. And I actually see like you having all the resources and the resources being provided to you. Okay. And so for the ones that the Cancers that are not acting with integrity, be very mindful at this time, because that is essentially, like you hurting yourself, and is only prolonging you from actually moving forward. Like you're gonna move forward regardless, but you may not necessarily be seeing things clearly at this time. And they're saying, even with those of you that's moving with integrity, maybe some of you are feeling a little confused, like you're not seeing things clearly. And it's okay, because you don't always need to know the how. Just focus on your why and stay focused on your integrity, and things are gonna move in alignment for you, because it's in your soul's contract for you to reap these benefits here. Okay, so there's a little bit of like two stories. For some of y'all is unsuccessful, and for some of y'all is successful. For those that is unsuccessful are the ones that's not moving with integrity, and be mindful. And those that are moving with integrity are gonna reap high rewards for this, and you're gonna be highly respected. And I feel like essentially this is even gonna serve like your community, your neighbors, or like it's gonna bring you a recognition on a higher level that you didn't even realize you could accomplish. And so this is a good thing. And for those of you that's unsuccessful, it's not that y'all gonna be forever unsuccessful. So don't take it in that way. And it's not that I'm trying to speak bad about y'all, but this is so that y'all can reflect on your integrity. And the moment you course correct and you start moving with integrity is when you're going to reap the benefits. If not, you're kind of going to see yourself in a loop or in a cycle. Okay? The sun came out. Yes, I love it. I know you're like messaging. I have to like check it. Oh, what am I doing? Yeah. Don't get confused, girl. All right. Let's see what dragon energy. Oh, what additional messages here for the Cancers? Oh, that's way too many cards. Energy affecting the Cancer collective, Cancer, water sign Cancer. Slowing down, minding your projections and connecting with the minds here. For some of you, you're going to be astral projecting. For some of you, you're going to be traveling, and they want you to slow down. So maybe you're wanting to train your body how to astral project. And so just slowing down your pace and your breathing and everything, and like really getting in tune with your body and allowing yourself to like move forward little by little. It's okay if it's a slow process. For some of you, this is slowing down like the intrusive thoughts or the overthinking. This is also slowing down other people's projections by protecting your energy, right? Meaning you don't have to accept other people's projections onto you, okay? You just know who you are, and you will be in a space where you will be able to move forward with grace and gratitude and strength. So I do see traveling moving forward, but there's in some area of your life, there is things slowing down. And in slowing down, the projections is either you astral projection and traveling in that way. This is you stopping other people's projections from it being your reality if it doesn't resonate with you. But essentially, this is you also slowing down and being mindful of what it is that you are projecting out into your reality. So minding your thoughts as well. Are you projecting, a unsupported reality because you are focusing on some negative and low vibrational thoughts? And there's a need to slow down and cleanse those thoughts, cleanse those mirrors, so that you can project a reality in which is honoring your forward movement with grace, right? And so that is a message for y'all. And let's see what dragons we have here. So there's 2. I love that. Ooh, and y'all got a rare dragon that came up. I love it. So the first one that came out, I want to do that one last because that one doesn't come out often. In the bottom of the deck, cranberry dragon with prosperity. I love to see it. I am here for it. Cranberries also connected with like your urinary tract system, connecting with the kidneys. And so you could look at the emotions of like your kidneys and your urine, your bladder, allowing yourself to connect with joy, right? And you also have the carrot dragon with observe. So observing rather than projecting at this time. Just if you tend to astral project, allow yourself to be the observer in the experience as well. Or maybe it's someone who astral projects and has been observant. Be mindful, do things with integrity. Don't violate somebody's privacy without their permission or whatever. Like, don't just go being a spiritual stalker. And I have to say it because that's a very real thing. It happens. And, just do things with integrity. But being the observer of the experience, observing your minds, observing your thoughts, observing your dreams, just being in the space of observation at this time. Don't overanalyze, don't overthink. Don't give it a diagnosis. Don't project what you believe it to be. Allow it to be simply what it is and observe the experience at this time, okay? And then we have union here, okay? Essentially, this is like my twin flame card, and this could be the twin flame of your soul, of yourself, your feminine and masculine energies coming into union and oneness with self. Okay, or this could be a potential meeting of the minds, right, with you and other people. And so connecting with healthy, meaningful connections. This could also be a new relationship that is equally yoked and matched to you. And so a sacred union, essentially. But this is because you have met the twin flame within your soul, within your being, and the outside begins to project that onto your reality as well. But you have to be the observer and knowing the difference and where you're at, being honest with yourself. Yeah, and I'm sorry my cards aren't like focusing too well, so like the detailing is not all. I love these cards. They are so cute. They are. Lemon lime dragon. Maybe adding some, to clear out the vampires, the energetic debris. You can slice up, cut it into 4. And you could take lines and you can place it in front of your door or in a room and add let it soak up the energies from the space. You could add lemon onto your water. You could have like lemon and add it to your like a lemon essential oil and add it to like your floor wash or something like that. lemon pies, like whatever. Lemon in itself is very protective. You could take a lime, you can stick some needles on it and hang it in front of your door as a protection charm in a sense, or whatever it may be. There's so many different ways of connecting with lemons and limes. And carrots is very much connected with your pancreas, with if you're diabetic or something, just regulating that. Your eyes, right? With your eyes, your ocular. So, occult, ocul, right? Your eyes. So observing with your eyes, through the veil, what may be seen and unseen. So carrots, a big emphasis on the eyes right now and being the observer, as opposed to like, overacting or reacting, just being in a space of like, let me just see how things are flowing right now. All right, y'all. So that is Cancers. We're going to go into Scorpio right now. Drink some water. Yeah. All right, Scorpio, y'all are silly. I did. So there is a square going on with the moon ingressing into the sign of Taurus, and it makes a square in Pluto to Pluto. And essentially Pluto rules over Scorpio. But Mars, yeah, so Scorpio energy. I'm just feeling a lot of like Lilith energy. I believe Lilith is currently in the sign of Leo, excuse me. When I'm purging and releasing energy, I be gassy, and like, I'm not going to be ashamed of it, because that's just like my body functioning in the ways that it needs to function to release energy. And so it's a natural process, and it is what it is. We all do it. But anyways, yeah, I just burped. So, human experience, y'all. Yeah. So, Scorpio, Pluto. What was I saying with that? If it was meant for me to say it, it will come back. Oh, yeah. So Lilith, Lilith is in the sign of Leo right now. And, so essentially, like, the dark feminine energies it is being called to the forefront. For some of you, it may come in a sense of like pride and arrogance, but in a healthy way, it comes out as confidence. They want you to be confident with your shadow side and the dark mother aspects of your being, and doing some healing in regards to that area, without you feeling ashamed of who you are. Essentially, that's what Lilith was. I don't know the full story. I don't work too heavy with like Lilith energy, but essentially the story is like she was exiled, for being who she is, for being in her dominant energy and being, in her natural flow. And she didn't take, she was like, no, I'm gonna be me. If I want to ride you, I'm gonna ride it. I don't have to be in submission mode all the time. And so taking charge essentially is something, but doing so with like confidence and not arrogance, and doing it in a way with grace, and in a way where you're not ashamed for being who you are. Because I think essentially, like, sometimes, whether you're male or female, if you're a Scorpio, maybe there's a part of you that you have been overthinking or needing to like either reevaluate. I don't feel like it's about taming it. It's about controlling it, or working with it and not controlling it in a way of like fear or guilt or shame or anything like that, but working with it in a way that it is healthy, for you to work with this energy. I didn't even turn the card over yet. Because I feel like it's going to lead you to a space where it's going to bring you more into wholeness as opposed to shaming yourself. It's going to bring you more confidence, and it'll help you move forward with releasing something that you need to release that's no longer serving you, and honoring an aspect of yourself that's bringing you more in your power. And essentially, like, okay, not feeling guilty if other people are intimidated by that version of you. We have the Nine of Cups here. 2 other cards. I feel like this is ancestral support. You can be a medium. This could also be just you really being in a space of like emotionally grateful for where you're at. You're really satisfied for the changes that you have done in your life. You're filling your cup. You're confident. You're in it. You're no longer sacrificing yourself. You're not ashamed. Okay. Essentially, I feel like you're saying like, I don't even care if I'm invited to the party because I know how to party by myself, right? We have the Nine of Cups with the Ace of Cups. This is very much you and your elements of the waters here, okay? And a lot of satisfaction, a lot of joy. Self-love is what I'm hearing. This is a time of self-love. No longer holding back. And the King of Cups here. Yeah, this is like so potent. Y'all are really, really in y'all element. Like, I've been in water signs. There hasn't been any cups that came out yet. We go into Scorpio and y'all are like, no, we in our element. We flowing. In the bottom of the deck, the World card. Okay, that's Saturn energy. Essentially, I feel like y'all are really diving deep within waters. Y'all are being the king of your domain of the waters. Y'all are knowing how to move through the currencies in your water. All right. I feel like this is really a time where y'all can really thrive. Essentially is what I'm feeling with this. Yeah, I have cleared out a lot of stuff. This could also be that maybe y'all had to do a lot of clearing work when it comes down to the masculine energies, and being in a space of like, you know what, maybe you felt like, maybe you had a father who used to judge you a lot, or a brother, or just some masculine energy that was really like trying to tell you how to be about yourself. And you're like, I'm no longer gonna be ashamed of being who I am and serving you in that way. Like, I need you to love me exactly for who I am. And when you stand in that power, essentially they like, it's almost like I see them laughing and they're like, you're just like me. Like, that's why they were like that, was because you reminded them so much of themselves, but in a more powerful way that is semi like intimidated them in a way. But essentially the intimidation gets healed through the self-love, like natural love energy ends up healing the space where it becomes into laughter and like harmonizing. And essentially I feel like this is you just really like knowing how to move your energy, mastering your own emotions, a lot of emotional intelligence. I also feel like this is like clearing, because it goes, look at this, like it's 9 cups and then there's an additional cups, which essentially is 10 cups. So I feel like there's emotional fulfillment, emotional happiness. This could also be an engagement or a marriage that comes into place here. So somebody elevating from, being it, maybe y'all were dating or just talking and then y'all make things exclusive, but a higher level. I see you coming into a higher level because of the mastery, the time that you have been taking to master yourself. All right, what other messages do we have? I got you, baby. I know. What other messages do we have for Scorpio's energy here? Integration. So you're definitely in a space of integrating, the different versions of yourself. Like I said, like you're like, I am the light, but I'm not scared of my darkness either. And Scorpios are known for that. This could also be that perhaps you're going to be helping a masculine energy to help integrate. But essentially, I just feel like this is the integration of both the feminine and masculine energies with yourself. I feel like this is a healer, like you do a lot of healing work. I feel like it just feels like a lot of like just self-awareness. Yes, harmony. I'm going to leave it like that. Harmony. With the number 10. It really does feel like a completion. Like y'all closed out chapters and cycles and y'all really in a good space. Scorpio, this feels really, really, and I'm glad that I tapped into your energy, because even though like that Lilith energy is coming through, essentially it's about you being in your power. And y'all feel really good. Y'all feel really sovereign, really light. And essentially, this could be the female that I was seeing with like the nails, the long nails and stuff. It feels good. It feels good. All right. Because remember I said it was like a dark room with a candle and stuff. All right. So what dragon spirit wants to come out for Scorpio? Scorpio. I'm also hearing the word Mama Dama. So this could be somebody who does practice, that does connect. And I feel like this is essentially like you've been connecting with your Mama Dama, or your Mama Dama has been connecting with you and communicating with you, or you're going to have like a figure that's symbolic of the Mama Dama. Of your space, like a grandmother energy who's very dominant and fierce, but also like nurturing and protective over you. We have the cherry dragon with grace. Yes, and look at that dark hue, that red hue with the white cherry, the cherry blossoms. It's beautiful. Scorpio has those crazy eyes on point. Definitely a strong soul. Yo, they do. It's funny. Like when we get to different periods of our lives, like our eyes tell. That's a whole other conversation. Because I remember, like when I would take pictures, I had to mind my inbox because my eyes was just like so like, and then I got to a space of just like being it more like light and like gentle and stuff. And like even my eyes got like so much more innocent, and like all my messages changed and stuff like that. And so it's so funny. Like, yeah, that's a very real thing. That is a very real thing. But cherries. So maybe adding more cherries into your diet, drinking some cherry juice. Essentially, like I just feel like this is, cherries, the embodiment of cherries, like they have the strong pit in the middle. They're dark, they're juicy, they're sweet. They could be a little tart, right? But they're not afraid to be tart. They're like, yeah, I'm juicy, I'm sweet, but I'm not so sweet, but I'm not sour. Like, I'm tart. Like people don't just call me sweet. They don't just call me sour. Like I have a whole different like category and name. Like, and yeah, I grow in the cold and stuff like that. But like, and I'm expensive. I'm not cheap. Like I'm of high quality. You know what I'm saying? And I like that. I like that. And then we have boundaries again in the bottom of the deck with garlic dragon. So that is for you Scorpios. And now we're going to get into Pisces. Let's get it. Let's go. Let me take a sip. Oh, I was laughing too because I kind of saw like the scorpion, their tail. Mm. Pisces, I feel a lot going on with y'all. Lots. It doesn't feel all bad, but it just feels like needing to like keep like keeping your head on your shoulders here. Um yeah, being mindful of your emotions as well, Pisces, yeah. Yeah, need to balance here. We have the Two of Pentacles, Pisces, Pisces, Pisces. How is this energy influencing Pisces? The Two of Cups, so two twos, I like it. There is the balancing. There's a little bit of dissatisfaction here while you're moving through energies, but you're also knowing that it's like you're holding on to what is, like you're trying to hold on to what is making you happy, but you're having to do some like wound healing here. There is a walking away from certain things, because you know that, things that you was once, holding on to, you're having to let go. And it's emotionally draining you a little bit or emotionally scary. But essentially you want to move from the Eight of Cups to the Ten of Cups, right? And so I guess just making the decision, and this is, like balancing your happiness and your finances, or work with play, balancing out like play and your relationships, or work and romance, or school and work and studying, whatever the case is. There's going to be like a reevaluation of like where your priorities are and how to balance that out. In the bottom of the deck, we have the Hierophant here, and so this is going to bring you a lot of wisdom. And this is also like you may be walking away from certain values that was like once like really a tradition to you, or traditional ways of being or thinking, that has just kept you in a space that makes you feel dissatisfied. But essentially, this is also leading you to those meaningful connections where it is balancing out your unions, is balancing out your relationships, is balancing out, but it's going to take for you to do the balancing work. Is what I'm saying. And you do the balancing work through womb healing here. With the Eight of Cups here, I see you, so this is part of like the integration, the incubation, all that energy here. You got something new to birth. And you may have felt like you put a lot of time and energy and effort into one thing, and now like it played its course out, and you feel that, and you know that you're like, well, how can I deliver something else? Like I really been called to this part of my path, but it's a bit scary and I don't want to have to walk through that. But it essentially is like you're walking through like the shadow of the valley of your own like death, if you will, for the rebirth. And you're gonna come out here in a space of like feeling balanced, feeling satisfied, feeling happy, but filling up your own cup as well. This could also be like for some of you Pisces here. Remember, Saturn is in Pisces as well. So, you may be doing some karma clearings when it comes down to the womb space here. And essentially, I feel like this is also walking away from certain relationships here and certain connections, so that you can really get back to the source of your true happiness here. I feel like this, for some of you, this is a divorce. For some of you, this is separation. But for a lot of you, this is seeing how to harmonize and bring into oneness your dualities, the things that you normally don't like. Why don't you like them? What about it is uncomfortable? So like essentially like learning from the discomforts, and learning to make your discomforts or like diseases, like discomforts, dissatisfactions, learning to make it like you're learning from your weaknesses to make them a strength, essentially. um what other messages do we have for Pisces here? So learning your strengths, and not focusing on like being depressive on your weaknesses, and walking away from what is not serving y'all. There's certain like issues that like also I'm also seeing like walking like confronting like issues of avoidance. Like, are there things that you just are avoiding because you haven't harmonized with it, you haven't balanced yourself with it, and your spirit is asking you to go through like your dark night of the soul, if you will, so that you can come out the other side like with a rebirth. What Pisces, can I get, thank you. Yeah. Clinging to the past. Pisces, you may be, like I said, you have to let something go from your past. It's making you dissatisfied. It's making you unhappy. It's no longer serving you. You're clinging on to old stories, old emotions, old programs that is not serving you at this time. And it is, maybe it was something that really meant a lot to you back then. But now it's time for you to shift into a new space. Okay? This is essentially things with your inner child and the innocence. Okay? Your innocence and seeing beyond the illusions. Okay? Let me get another card for Pisces. The Rebel. You're gonna have to, be the own bad. You're gonna have to be your own bad guy to your own story. If they're not understanding what it is that you are trying to put into the forefront. Maybe you were holding on to emotions that, people looked at you as the bad guy and it really hurt you, or never receiving certain apologies and having to move forward in life without an apology, or just having to be okay with being like being a rebel with a cause or without a cause, or whatever the case may be. But maybe you looking at other people as the rebel and you're victimizing yourself, right? Balancing that out and really looking at the whole picture. Because I feel like essentially what with clinging of the past and being a rebel, I feel like it's being a rebel to your own old ways of thinking. What dragon here do we have for Pisces? Garlic boundaries. Again, garlic dragon with boundaries. A lot of boundaries in the bottom of the deck. Avocado with patience. Be patient with yourself. Eat some avocados. They're so yummy. And when I got into the water signs, I felt liver pains. Avocados are good in helping you heal the liver as well. And so perhaps some of you, and coffee with energy in the bottom. Coffee also helps detox and cleanse the liver as well. Although some people, if you're adding like milk and sugar and all these other things, it may not necessarily help the liver in that way. But when it's just black, it's high in antioxidants. And so it can help with the purge. Obviously, you want to be mindful because of the caffeine content in it. And also with avocados, they're high in fat. And so anything that I share with you, I'm not a medical practitioner. Use your discernment. It is just, me sharing for educational purposes. I want you to use your discernment, do your own research, and obviously connect with your professionals, because we're not going there. That's the disclaimer. But you know, essentially maybe some of y'all are healing through some addictions, and addictions do reside in the liver as well. And so maybe that is something that's coming up. Um, but avocados have a strong shell, like hearty shell, but they're soft in the inside. And you have to eat them when they're ripe because they turn brown real quick. Like they get in their feelings real quick. Like how you gonna air me out like that, right? Like, yeah. And so but they're still good and high in nutrition even when they have like that brown to them, right? And you can use, essentially, you don't have to throw that out. You can use it for like your hair, you can use it for your skin and so many different things because it's still high in vitamins and magnesium and yeah, vitamins and nutrients, right? um and so just placing the boundaries where you need to place the boundaries and being patient with yourself. And essentially, maybe you feel like boundaries were crossed from you and you haven't spoke on your boundaries, and needing to be patient with yourself and others and expressing your boundaries. But yeah, that's really it. Maybe, releasing stagnant energy from the liver of like resentment, of anger, frustration, sadness, guilt, whatever it could be. Stop clinging on to those stories. Be patient with yourself during this transformation and really be acquainted with your emotions. This is what's going to lead you forward, Pisces. So I thank you all. I'm going to check the comments here and then we are going to get ready to go. All right. Hello, people. All right. I love how y'all were like really active in here. I appreciate each and every one of you. I'm so grateful. All right. Wait, because it keeps sliding up. Let's see here. Majestic Glow. Hi, beauty. I have not seen you in a long time. All right, it's crazy. I'm a Cancer too, and randomly ended up here after taking a nap. I remember. I know you. Wow, talk about Mercury retrograde. That just threw me back to when I was in Job Corps as a teenager. Oh, goodness gracious. That's so funny. All right. I hope many people overcome and release trauma from the past, establish positive belief structures, build and strengthen their self-worth to take back control and find their happiness. Awesome. I appreciate that you do that work and that you're a coach and whatnot. But please respect my space as well. I am a clinical hypotherapist, an NLP master practitioner, CBT coach, and mental health first aider and personal trainer. Awesome. I don't fully know who you are, how you got here, because my page is private, but it's cool. Maybe I will check you out, but what I will say is that if you wanted to, like, what was the purpose of you saying that other than maybe trying to get, because I'm all for each one teach one, and I definitely don't mind another person coming on live with me to share what they provide as a service to others that's going to essentially help others, because maybe you have something that I don't have, or even if you have the same thing, maybe someone will resonate more with you than with me. And so I'm really confident in who I am, and I don't mind holding space and sharing space in that way. But please respect my space when you come into my space. If that was something that you wanted to speak to me about personally and coming into my inbox and saying, hey, I offer this type of service, would you like to like connect and collab or whatever, we could do that. But just to put it in my comments down here, unnecessary. And so I'm going to put that boundary here for anybody that's watching. Respect my space. And if you don't, the consequences are on you. That's not on me. That's on you, because I'm vocalizing it and you hear it loud and clear. Move like nature. Yes. Okay. Yo, Logan, what what you doing on a tarot card, cranberry dragon, right? Oh my god, I know, I like that. That cranberry dragon card is fucking so cute. It's for me, it's like one of the cutest. It's just so cute. I really, really like that one. Little 7-Up for that ass. Okay, there's some ass play going on. Okay, powerhouse. Yes, we are all powerhouses. Essentially, this is why we were all magnetically attracted to being here in this space. I just have to, stay where I'm coming from and how comfortable I am with that. Just because I don't know you, and I'm really big on people's souls and making sure that if somebody comes to you for service, that you have integrity, that you will protect their soul, that you will guide them. With obviously, I cannot be responsible for you, but if I introduce you to the people, there's a level of trust and understanding that goes on there. And I'm really protective over the people that are connected with me, and I want to make sure that they are connected with people that truly will honor and respect their souls as well as I would, even though I cannot be responsible for every little thing and who they connect with, So I'm just being I'm a little bit motherly and protective and stuff, so that's me. Oh, human experience. My shamanic sage. Hi, baby girl. Hi. All right. Let's see. Lighting a lavender purple candle for this space. Thank you so much. Oh, and the wick is spitting. Oh, what is it spitting? Some juicy info. Yes. Thanks, Logan. Yes, thank you so much, and I highly appreciate it. I thank you all for your time and your space. I honor your souls. I honor your being. I'm so grateful to be sharing this earthly round, or all of the rounds and dimensions that we are connected. I'm grateful in sharing those spaces with y'all. I thank you, and until next time, peace, love, and gratitude. Make sure that you are clearing your energy and calling back your energy to be in your sovereignty and your energy, and that you are thriving in your personal lighthouse and powerhouse and illuminated in the truth and the way that is most successful and greatest for you in your journey. And I am rooting for you and your successes always. I believe in you. May you believe in yourself, and know that the soul in me recognizes the soul in you, and that we are one. I thank you. I honor you. Peace, love, and gratitude. Ashe. We are out of here.